Hello everyone, welcome to yourfaculty.com, a premier test preparation portal for GRE, CAT and bank exams. I'm sure you got chance to see our previous video and introduction to time, speed and distance. We had done some problems there. We are now going to a new topic within time, speed and distance. It's called relative speed. This is an important and an interesting topic. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this video. Let me give a small introduction to what relative speed means. Okay, so let's say that you are at a point A. This is your house, right? And you travel at 60 km per hour in your bike and you reach your college. So if you had traveled at an average speed of 60 km per hour, you would have reached your college in 1 hour. Am I making sense? If you agree to this, then your understanding is wrong. Why? Because you have not taken into consideration the value of the distance. So this concept makes sense only if I say that the distance of the college is 60 km. So students, please understand, I am saying this because there are problems that will say whether one data is enough to solve this question or two data are enough to solve this question or all the three data are required to answer the question. So there are questions related to data sufficiency which are very so for you to solve such problems you need to understand the data that is given there and then solve it. Now let's come back to our concept. So if there are the distance between your college and home is 60 km and you travel at 60 km per hour, you reach in 1 hour. So if you travel at 30 km per hour, you reach in 2 hours. So I'm sure this is a straightforward thing. Now, if you are going to assume that this object, what is your distance with respect to your house after 1 hour? If you are after half an hour, you are traveling at 60 km per hour and your distance is 60 km and you finish it in 1 hour. So after 30 minutes you are 30 km away from your home. So that is relative. So now you are comparing yourself against an object from where you started. So this is the basis for relative. Now let's look at two objects traveling together. Now you and your friend start from point A and go to your college. The distance is 60 km. You are Mr. X, you travel at 60 km per hour and your friend travels at 30 km per hour. Now, it's very simple. After 1 hour, you would have reached college. Why? Because you would have traveled 60 kilometers. After 1 hour, you would have traveled 60 kilometers. Whereas your friend, he would have traveled just 30 kilometers after 1 hour. So he would have just reached this portion, which is the center. Then what is the difference between your distance and your friend's distance? Mr. X and Mr. Y, I'm sorry. Why? It is 30 kilometer. So here comes the concept. Now when you both travel in the same direction, the calculation was pretty simple. You took a difference of yourself and your friend. So if it is in the same direction, the relative speed is basically the difference of the speed. Now if you had both traveled, okay, we'll take it in a simpler way. You both start from point X or point A and your friend starts going towards C1 and you started going towards C2, X and Y. Now, same speed, 60 km per hour and 30 km per hour. What happens after 1 hour? After 1 hour, your friend Y would have traveled a distance of 30 and you would have traveled a distance of 60 km. So if you look at the displacement, the difference between your friend and you, it will be 90 kilometers. Can you understand this? Because you both are traveled in opposite direction and hence your speed and his speed got added. So the concept is, if you are traveling in opposite direction, the relative speed is equal to sum of the speeds. So I'm not going to write anymore. I'll help you understand how to arrive at it. Now let's say you and your friends are going in a bike when you go for a trip. So when you go together in the same direction, you feel that you are sitting next to you, and if you are in the same direction and at the same speed, you feel that you both are together. There, the relative speed is almost zero because you both are together. Now visualize it in a train. When the train comes in the opposite direction, when you are traveling in another train and there's a train coming in the opposite direction, both the trains are moving. So you suddenly feel that the other train went at a very high speed. Why is that so? Here, because the relative speed of your train and the train that came from the opposite direction got added up, and hence the relative speed in the opposite direction is actually equal to sum of the speeds. Whereas if both the trains go together in the same direction at the same speed, you feel like you want to touch the other train. You feel like the train is going very close to you and it is like it's going really slow. But actually speaking, the relative speed is almost zero there, or whatever based on the value. The difference between the speeds is basically the relative speed there. So hence you feel that it's going slow. So having said that, I think you will be able to understand when I start doing a problem. So in case you have any queries, you can send me an email at info@yourfaculty.com, info@urfaculty.com, yourfaculty.com. You'll also get a chance to, if you want to practice questions online, yourfaculty.com would be a right place to practice your tests. We have packages for GRE, CAT and bank exams. Okay, so let me take you to our first problem. Okay, train is 150 meter long and is traveling at the speed of 70 km per hour. How long will it take to pass a man who is running at 10 km per hour traveling in the same direction? That's quite a good speed by that person, traveling in the same direction. Now, there's a train traveling and there's a man running. Now, how do you solve such problems? We can assume that man is a point for solving such problems and the train crosses him. So in such cases, the distance is typically the length of the train because it is going to cross that point. So if the man is here and the train starts crossing him, he starts moving towards a certain distance and it finally crosses him and go, right? So if that is the case, the distance here is basically the length of the train. So please remember this for most of these relative problems where there's a comparison between a moving object and a smaller object. The length is basically the length of that object, and the smaller object, which could be a man or a point or a pole, it will always be basically the length of the train will be the distance. Okay, so the problem is pretty simple. I will not take so much time as much as I use for explaining. So speed of the train relative to man, what is the relative speed? What is the relative speed here? It is 70 minus 10, which is equal to 60 kilometer per hour. Now we know that the distance is equal to 150 meter, and our equation involves 160 kilometer per hour. So we just need to convert this into meters per second. And how do you do that? It's a very simple formula. Please remember this. I will not spend my time on explaining how it is. It is basically you have to multiply it by 5 by 18. When you do that, you get it in meters per second. And how much will you get for that? You'll get 50 by 3 meters per second. Do not cancel it and bring it to the final decimal value. Keep the fraction till the end of the problem. Okay, so now how do you solve this finally? So time taken by train to cover 150 meter. If we know the time taken by train with respect to the relative speed to cover 150 meter, we know that how much time it will take to cross the man. So how much is that? It is 150 by its time taken. Time is equal to distance by speed. So distance is equal to 150 and speed is equal to 50 by 3, which means 3, and it is 9 seconds. I hope you understood this problem. Let me move on to the next one. Train A traveling at 48 km per hour completely crosses another train B, which is half the length of train A, in 12 seconds. Train A and B are traveling in opposite direction. That's key here. They are traveling in opposite direction, and train B is traveling at 42 km. Train A was at 48 km. Train A crosses a platform in 45 seconds. So the three entities here: train A, train B, and platform. Okay, so first of all, let's find out the relative speed of the two trains. What will be the relative speed? It's pretty simple. They are going in opposite direction, so it needs to be added. So it's 48 plus 42 equal to 90 km per hour. Okay, now to solve such problems, we have a issue here. We need to know because there's a platform here, we need to know the lengths of the trains to proceed. So first of all, what is the length of train A? What are they given it as? They are told, they have not given anything, but they are told length of train B is equal to x by 2. Okay, so how do we find how much time it takes for train A to cross train B? It's basically distance by time, distance by speed, time taken. So what is the distance here? It's x plus x by 2 is basically the length of both the trains by 90 km per hour. Now 90 km per hour, how do you convert it into minutes per second, meters per second? 90 into 5 by 18, and you get the answer as 25 meters per second, which is equal to 25. And on solving, you will get, and this has to be done in 12 seconds, right? Now this is the equation that you have to look for, and on solving, what do you get? You get x is equal to 200. Okay, the question says find the length of the platform. This is length of train A. let the length of platform be P. We know that if it is an object and a train passes, we use the length of the train as distance, right? Now, if it is a platform, it would mean that the train passes through this end, this point, and then goes on to cross this end until the length of the train crosses the platform. I repeat this. There is a platform and the train starts coming in L1, L2. So it first touches this point and it goes on, and again it continues until the point where the last compartment of the train, last end of the train, the end of the train crosses the platform. So here the distance is basically L1 plus L2 because it is a sum of the length of the train plus sum of the length of the platform. So what is our new distance in this case? Distance is equal to 200, which is length of the train plus length of the platform. And what is the speed of the train A? Speed of train A is equal to, I'll put for your understanding, speed of train A is equal to 48 into 5 by 18. I'm converting it into meters per second because this is in meters. And this is equal to 40 by 3 meters per second. I am not solving this. Please remember, don't try to reduce the fractions to a decimal. Let's take it to the end of the problem. Now, the problem is pretty straightforward. We need to find the length of the platform. And how do you do that? What is the formula? Distance is equal to speed into time. And what is the distance here? 200 plus P is equal to, speed is 40 by 3 and time is 45 seconds. And on solving, you will get P is equal to 400 meters. I hope you enjoyed this problem. I'll try to explain again what all we did here. We first found out the relative speed of the trains, which is basically 90 km because both of them traveling in the same direction. Both of them are traveling in the opposite direction, because they are in opposite direction, we have to take the sum of the speeds, which is 90 km per hour. We then converted it into meters per second, which is 25 meters per second, because our whole calculation is in meters or in seconds. And to convert a kilometer per hour to meters per second, we multiply it by a term 5 by 18. Please remember that. Now, then we assume that the length of the train A is x and the length of train B is x by 2 because they are told that train B, which is half the length of A, is in 12. In this process, we are trying to arrive at length of the train. So what we did, we know that the time taken by both the trains is same. Now, time being a constant because it's 12 seconds, what we did a distance by speed calculation, and we know the distance is x plus x by 2, length of both the trains by, and speed is 25 km, which we got from the relative speed calculation, and we equated it against 12, and we got the length of the train A to be 200 meters. Then we are asked to find out the length of the platform. The question then moves on to assuming the length of the platform to be P, and hence your new distance is equal to 200, which is length of the train A plus length of the platform, which is P. And we know that speed of train A is 48 km per hour, which is 40 by 3 meters per second. And then the equation is pretty simple. You apply D is equal to speed into time, and 200 plus P is equal to 40 by 3 into 45. And finally, you get the answer as 400 meters. I am not doing the cancellations and all that here. It is pretty simple here. If you want me to do it, I'll just do a simple thing. 315, 15 into 460, which is equal to 600. So P 200 you bring on to this side, P is equal to 600 minus 200, which is equal to 400 meters. So I hope you understood this problem. This is a pretty long and complex problem, but an easy to solve problem. If you are getting it, please don't. If you are getting it in a CAT exam or a bank exam or any other entrance exam for that matter, please don't miss such questions, because the logic is pretty straightforward, and I'm sure you'll be able to solve this problem in 2 minutes, unlike the video where I had spent some time to explain the whole concept to you. If you have any doubts, please reach out to us at info@yourfaculty.com. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. You can subscribe to our channel, Your Faculty channel in YouTube, and you can watch more videos. You can also like us in our Facebook page. We keep posting about new exams that are coming up, government exams or other exams that are coming up. We also put our offers there for our online test preparation platform. So yourfaculty.com, you will find a lot of tests that are relevant for your exams, and I hope when you practice, you'll be able to excel well in your exam. We also have a LinkedIn page, and you can follow us at Twitter also. So thanks friends for watching the video.